Thanks for coming back for another episode of Pro Audio Deal or Disaster, the series where we look at online listings for pro audio equipment and sound systems and talk about the deals and the asking price.
Do you like that?
And share stories about the gear if we've used it in the past. And my favorite part of these videos are always the stories you share in the comments below. So if you have any experience with any of the gear, please feel free. I'd love to hear your thoughts. There have been some great comments on recent videos from folks in different parts of the world sharing the prices that they know locally for the gear that we see. And that got me curious and scrolling Facebook in different areas. And I'm going to go ahead and do some videos in the future from different parts of the world on Facebook and other marketplaces. But today we're going to start in the UK. So let's get into it. We're heading to Norwich for a listing for 8 L-Acoustics K2 boxes, and there's only the one picture here. It looks like they're at maybe a storage unit, and they're selling 8 K2 boxes purchased new in 2023. They've got 2 covers and 2 chariots, and 2 of the Cara downrigging brackets. They say additionally available 2 by K2 bumps with bars and Sigma fabrication cases for £3,300. And this is a premium line array system in great condition, perfect for touring festivals or installations. PM for price, availability, further details, and shipping can be arranged. So £57,800. We're in England here, so we're talking British pounds, not euros. And I'll put the conversion to dollars up here on the screen for 2025. We're right at the end of 2025 right now. But would you buy 8 L-Acoustics boxes like this? Do you think these are genuine, for one? To start with, you know, we all hear the stories about different manufacturers finding that there are fake boxes out there, and then those videos where they destroy the fakes that they find. And I wonder if something like this is genuine. £57,800 sterling. Yeah, they've just got 8 boxes. No factory support, no additional cable. Maybe they have amplifiers and all this other stuff for sale. Maybe they do have a turnkey package option, but let me know what you think about that, if you think it's even genuine. They certainly look like they have been used, but with just the one picture, kind of tough to tell too much about them. There's a big sell-off happening in Norwich, it seems, because we've got a DiGiCo SD10 plus an SD rack here for £24,000, and I'll read the description as we scroll through the pictures. It looks like it's in really clean condition going off this first photo here, but let me read while you take a look. From our warehouse in the UK, we are selling a used DiGiCo SD10 Surface Matty Opticon optics in great condition with a 3-piece Surface touring flight case. The price also includes an SD rack with the following spec. 1 DiGiCo SD rack, 192 kilohertz, unloaded with Opticon optics used. 7 DiGiCo SD rack 8-channel mic and line input cards, 3 DiGiCo SD rack 8-channel analog line output card, and 2 DiGiCo SD rack 8-channel AES output cards. And you can see all of that in this photo here. Feel free to DM or email for more info. And again, that's out of Norwich. So anybody from the UK, do you folks know who owned this or the aforementioned L-Acoustics cabinets? Yeah, it'd be interesting to know the history behind this one, because who knows what their clients might be asking for the future. So yeah, let me know what you think about that in the UK for £24,000. Let me know if you think our odds on the L-Acoustics package being genuine just got better, because this is the same seller now in Norwich selling an Avid S6L package as well. So let's take a look at this one and see what we've got. We're looking at £82,999 for this one, and this is a used S6L 32D full touring package plus VAT on top of that, $82,999. Up for sale is a high-spec touring-ready Avid S6L 32D live sound console package in excellent condition. This is a complete system, ideal for professional, front-of-house, or monitor applications, and it includes the S6L 32D control surface with the dust cover, an E6L 192 engine with the Wave Sound Grid option card, a Stage 64 stage box, 64 inputs, 32 outputs, a Dell P2418HT 23.8-inch touchscreen monitor with the case and a mounting arm, I guess, a road case from roadcases.com, and that looks like that's everything. Condition is used but very well maintained, and refer to the photos. There's delivery available. Message them for more information. So yeah, this is a nice clean looking package for sure, and I'd love to know if any of you have used this package, and again, if you know anything about this and the L-Acoustics system, and was this maybe out on tour and now it's not needed anymore by this company. Certainly if it was toured, it was well taken care of. I really don't know if you are in the market for one of these, if you would be willing to lay out that kind of money without a warranty or, again, factory support, especially from a company like Avid. That is a big chunk of money to lay out to not be one of their customers directly. So if any of you make purchases at this kind of level, would you at all consider buying something used? Let us know what the reality of that actually looks like, because it's really easy to say like, oh, that's a good deal. But when you get into buying for corporate clients and things like that, that factory service and warranty is very important a lot of times. But again, this one looks super clean. So leaning towards thinking those L-Acoustics boxes are the real deal, but you never know. Stranger things have definitely happened in this industry. All right, now we're getting into some more interesting stuff. We've got an FBT rig that looks like it's been pulled from a nightclub, and they listed this about 7 weeks ago in Salford. So yeah, let's have a read. 12K speaker rig FBT Modus 15 sound system, fully working for nightclub loudspeaker stack setup with amps and DSP in a rack. 4 of the Modus 215 FSA subwoofers, 2,000 watt passive each, capable of 146 SPL, and those are dual 15s. And then you get 2 of the Modus 15, which I assume are these vertical array speakers here, and you can see all of the specs there. And then we've got, okay, those are the subs. And then they've listed 6 Citronics CX8088B. Those, I guess, are these little guys here. Under balcony, yep, those are our Citronics under balcony speakers. I am not familiar with those even a little bit. Never heard of those before. 1 Crown 3600 Macrotech solid nightclub amplifier. And then we've got 1 QSC G7, 1 QSC G5, a Behringer DCX2496 Ultra Drive processor, and a rack. There are fixing points attached to either side of the top, so you can either hang them from chains or build a wedge to stack them. Great system. Will come with pre-made Neutrik speak-on plugs and cables ready to plug and play. The subs on the system will rock a venue for sure. Total $12K. Additional $2K if you want it installed. So there you go, a little service option there if you want them to come out and bolt this into your fledgling nightclub. So yeah, it looks like somebody has removed the factory flying hardware. There should be a track going up through this channel here and bolted in to the cabinet, and they have added these, you know, from the hardware store, just screwed right into the plywood hanging points, and they've hung these speakers. Their precision vertical array speakers have been hanging horizontally, presumably, for the duration of the installation. So yeah, you can have that fine outfit come and install these in your location for only 2,000 additional pounds. That is remarkable. This time we're in Dorchester.
You used to work at Dorchester.
At the Dorchester?
No, in Dorchester, about 40 miles away.
And another DiGiCo SD11. This one has been reduced in price. They originally listed it for $7,850. Now they're down to 5,000 pounds. And I'll scroll through the few photos here. So it's saying as new, not a mark, as in not a mark on it. And recently fully serviced, including 12 new faders. All right, by DiGiCo at their factory. Literally looks and operates like a brand new console. Flight case is as new too. Viewings, collection, welcome. Prices plus VAT. And again, that one is in Dorchester. And yeah, it looks like a really nice example of a very well-maintained SD11. Is that a good price for $5,000 over there in the UK right now? Looks like they've reduced the price pretty swiftly. It's only been listed for 5 weeks. But the secondary market for consoles of this caliber can always take a little longer, just because any buyer with this kind of money is going to be considering possibly buying something new and getting the warranty. So you really just have to find the right person, and that can take a little while. So it's interesting to see them drop the price so quickly. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from anybody in the UK if you think that's fair, or if there's a reason why you think they did that so fast. Nice console though, really well listed, well maintained. Love the case. Take it right out and put it to work. This guy's got the Nexo rig here set up in the front room, and at the end of this video, it looks like a kid pops their head up, so I think he has been told to get this one out of the house. From Manchester here, a Nexo PSPA system plus Camco amp. So this is a turnkey system, 6,400 pounds in Manchester. Let's take a read while I flip through the photos. Here we have for sale the ultimate pub medium venue outside small gig rig used by so many bands over at least the last 20 years or so. Nexo PS rig consisting of 2 Nexo PS15 V1 tops with soft covers, 2 Nexo PS15B bass extenders with soft covers, 2 Nexo LS1200 bass bins with wheels and soft covers, 2 more Nexo LS1200 bass bins, 2 Camco Vortex 6 power amplifiers, 1 Nexo DTD digital controller, and 1 shock mount rack for everything, along with all the speaker cables and power cables. And they say again, this is the PA rig of the last 20 years for semi-pro bands, and I've owned this setup for the last 8 years. If you're serious about sound, you know that this is top drawer equipment, so no, $4,500 won't secure the sale. This rig is currently in Durham, but can also be transported to Manchester if a sale is agreed. I can't transport it to demo, so you come to Durham or Manchester to view and collect. I'm not shipping it anywhere, and I'm not splitting it right now. Please get in touch with serious offers. But overall, it looks to be in okay condition. There is a little bit of rust going on in the hardware that concerns me. I wonder where they've stored this gear for it to be rusting. What do you think? Is a system like this still desirable in 2025? I feel like most of the folks I know doing small gigs or pub gigs or wedding gigs in the UK have gone for ultra portable, high-end D&B stuff and, other stuff that's, absolutely cutting edge as far as the speakers go. And this stuff certainly is nice, but it's definitely showing its age. And if you're not familiar, I believe these on the left here are the PS15 V1 tops, and these are the PS15B bass extenders here. And then we've got the 1200 subs below those. So I'd be very interested to know if any of you in the UK would be into a system like this. Do you think this is a fair price for a turnkey Nexo system of this vintage, or do you think he should be a little more open to offers? I know he said $4,500 won't take it, but maybe $5,000? I don't know. Just to prove that everything in England isn't at the absolute sharp end of the industry as far as technology goes, we've got a classic Peavey Hi-Sys system, a 6XT and 112XT and CS 800 amp package. I was going to say these look really clean, but then I noticed the duct tape on the sub and the carpet missing and everything else. So let's flip through these photos while I have a look at what they say about it. This is a fantastic setup. I used it for discos and kids parties, and it never let me down. I'm no longer DJing and don't have the space as need to get rid of my unit. I would love to keep it if I could. All cables and poles included, and can show setup and working. Due to size, collection from Ashford, Kent.
Anyone in from Kent?
Cash or BACS payment only. So yeah, these Hi-Sys 112 XTs would have Black Widows. That's the BW equipped down there at the bottom. And these look like they've, seen some action for sure. A little bit of rust here and there, but they're not in dire straits. These are relatively new cabinets as well with the Speakons. These would have originally had 1/4 inch inputs on them. Not this particular one. I'm not saying these were converted, but the older version of this style system would have had 1/4-inch inputs before they started selling them with these speak-ons. I can't see a year on that plate there, but let's keep going. There's a CS800S, and these amps are just super reliable. I would have no trouble whatsoever expecting that just to be plugged in and to turn on and work just fine. It looks like it maybe could use a bit of a dust off, but otherwise I would imagine this amp is in absolutely fine condition. And they don't really give us too many close-ups. You know, I want to see the other angles of the speakers to see how bad a shape the carpet's in. And these would be Scorpion. Okay, there, yeah, it actually even says it. And I'd be interested to know when they bought this, because by the time speak-on connectors were commonplace on speakers like this, the Hi-Sys system had been long since discontinued in the US as far as I know. And this is saying it's a product of Peavey Electronics in Corby, England. So I'm guessing they've just had a different lineup of products, and I guess they stuck with the Hi-Sys systems because they sold well, and they had a longer life as a system than they did in the US. So very interesting to see. 450 pounds. Not sure if that's fair or not in the condition they're in. I think they need a fair bit of work.
Lick a paint 1 hour.
And give them a bit of a clean. But other than that, I'm sure they work just fine, and maybe a good little starter system for a small act. Now we had a VI4 Soundcraft that was upgraded to the 400 firmware in the US on a couple of episodes ago. This is a VI1 with the flight case and stage box, and let's have a look and see what they say. I have for sale one Soundcraft VI1 flight case included with one Soundcraft compact stage box, 2 owners including me. It has been well looked after and had an easy life being sat in the same venue after being purchased. And then their contact information. So yeah, pretty vague, nondescript listing. I got to recommend for anybody listing something like this in the future, the most important photograph you can possibly take of this is of it turned on. Ideally of it turned on and like passing signal. That really shows that you know what you're doing and that the thing might actually work. But at least turn the thing on, connect up whatever components you have, and show it in that state, because at this point I'm wondering, if it works, why didn't you turn it on? Now we've got one actually in London here. This is an Electro-Voice system, and this one has a good few photographs, so let's take a look and I'll read through some of the details. Electro-Voice EV DML 4-way live PA DJ sound. Just says DJ sound. 8,000 pounds. This was listed 16 weeks ago, so maybe some room for negotiation. And by the looks of this first photograph, it seems like it's a turnkey system. There's power distribution sorted out for the amplifiers in those racks. There's cables provided, at least to give you a demo of what the system can do. So that's always good to see that they've got an actual complete working system. Yeah, so this listing is written in a really weird way. I'm not just going to read all of this because it's going to sound ridiculous, but it looks like there's 4 subs, 4 full range cabinets. They say they're all fully working. All drivers are fully working, and some have new recones. They've got, mains, power cables, very good. They've got Van Dam mains distribution panel. They've got an Electro-Voice DC46. They've got a BSS FDS 344 for the subs. They've got an MC squared T1000, an MC squared T2000, an EVP 3000 amplifier, and then more mains panels, and then a couple of more Electro-Voice P3000 amplifiers. So you can see all of that there in the photographs, the BSS speaker processor, the Electro-Voice processor. With everything put away, the cabinets look like they're in pretty nice condition. I'm not sure if these caster plates over here go with this system. And from the front, other than some dust, these cabinets, the subs and tops all look like they're in very nice shape. But yeah, that is a pretty big and old sound system. I actually live not too far away from the original Buchanan, Michigan Electro-Voice factory, which they have long since vacated at this point. So to see one of these systems in this kind of condition in London in 2025 is pretty impressive. This person has definitely kept them up well, and whoever's owned them previously, I would imagine these have gone through a number of owners over the years. So yeah, what do you think about some big, heavy Electro-Voice boxes? 8,000 pounds. 16 weeks ago, I'd say you could probably get a pretty aggressive offer in there if this person is looking to clear these out of their industrial unit here, because these take up a lot of space, and I'm sure this whole setup weighs a fair bit, and there's probably another entire case somewhere just filled with all the cabling. So pretty neat to see that in London.